From vent windows to vinyl tops, join us as we explore the 10 car innovations that did not stand the test of time. Ready? Suicide doors first showed up in American cars back in the 1930s and 1940s, bringing in a wave of daring designs and fresh ideas in the car world. One standout model rocking these doors was the 1961 Lincoln Continental. This car was all about luxury and style, with its sleek look-turning heads everywhere. Those suicide doors weren't just for show, they made hopping into the back seats a breeze, making the Continental a hit among the rich and famous. But here's the twist. Those fancy doors caused quite a stir because of safety worries. Stories started circulating about them swinging open unexpectedly while driving, raising some serious red flags. Even though they were meant to give a classy entrance to backseat riders, these doors also posed big risks in case of accidents. As people started getting more safety conscious, car makers began ditching suicide doors for safer options. Later rides like the Lincoln Town Car and Cadillac DeVille went for regular rear doors to keep everyone safe. Nowadays, suicide doors are more of a cool throwback than a practical choice in today's cars. Ah, the good old ashtray, a staple feature in cars from the mid-20th century. Back in the day when smoking was as common as a Sunday drive, car manufacturers thought of everything, including a convenient spot to stub out your cigarette. These ashtrays were often built right into the dashboard or center console, within easy reach of the driver and passengers. Picture yourself cruising down the highway in a classic 60s sedan, the radio playing your favorite tunes, and a cloud of smoke hanging lazily in the air. That's the scene these ashtrays were made for. They were a symbol of the times, a reflection of a culture where smoking was not just accepted but considered cool. But as the years went by and the dangers of smoking became more widely known, attitudes began to shift. People started realizing that filling their cars with smoke wasn't the healthiest choice. Slowly but surely, ashtrays started disappearing from cars, replaced by cup holders and other amenities more suited to modern lifestyles. Nowadays, if you stumble upon an old car with an ashtray, it's like finding a relic from a bygone era, a reminder of a time when smoking behind the wheel was the norm. But for most drivers today, it's a feature they can happily live without. In the 1970s and 1980s, vinyl roofs became a big deal in the car world. They were all about adding a bit of luxury and flair to your ride. Car makers jumped on the trend, offering vinyl roofs in all sorts of colors and textures. You had your classic black and white, but also some bold choices like burgundy and emerald green. One famous car rocking a vinyl roof was the Chrysler New Yorker. Celebrities and rich folks loved it for its fancy look. But here's the catch. Vinyl roofs had their issues. They'd crack, fade, and peel over time, especially in rough weather. Keeping them looking good meant lots of cleaning and maintenance. As time went on, people started preferring sunroofs and moonroofs. They were easier to maintain and gave that open-air feel without the hassle of vinyl. Nowadays, seeing a car with a vinyl roof is like taking a trip back in time to when flashy cars ruled the streets. Vent windows, those little triangle-shaped windows up front on car doors, were everywhere in cars from way back. They were all about letting in some fresh air while you drove, even if the main windows were up. People loved them, especially before air conditioning was a thing in every car. Cars with vent windows bragged about how comfy they were, especially on hot summer days. You could keep the windows up for privacy or to stay dry in the rain, but still catch a nice breeze. Plus, they were great for keeping the windshield from fogging up on muggy days. Even though vent windows aren't around much these days, they're still remembered fondly by folks who grew up with them. Some even wish they could bring them back for that nostalgic feel of cruising with the wind in your hair and the windows cracked open. What do you think about it? Do you miss them, or are you glad to leave them in the past? Back in the day, honking your horn wasn't just a way to get someone's attention. It was an experience. Enter the horn ring, a feature found in many cars from the past. This nifty contraption was essentially a ring around the steering wheel that you could press to sound the horn. It was a convenient and stylish way to alert other drivers or pedestrians on the road, but as cars became more modernized, the horn ring fell out of fashion. Automakers started integrating horn buttons directly onto the steering wheel or onto the dashboard, making them more accessible and user-friendly. While the horn ring may have become a thing of the past, it's still remembered fondly by car enthusiasts who appreciate its vintage charm. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The 8-track tape, a relic from the golden age of car audio. These clunky cartridges revolutionized how people listened to music on the go in the mid-20th century. Picture yourself cruising down the highway in your groovy 70s ride, with the sounds of classic rock or disco blasting through your car's speakers via an 8-track tape player. One of the most iconic features of the 8-track tape was its ability to play multiple tracks in succession without the need to rewind or fast forward. This made it perfect for road trips, allowing drivers to enjoy hours of uninterrupted music without having to fuss with the controls. And let's not forget the colorful variety of tapes available, with album covers and track listings printed right on the cartridges. However, as technology advanced and cassette tapes and CDs became the norm, the 8-track tape player gradually faded into obscurity. Today, it's a nostalgic reminder of a simpler time in car audio history, cherished by collectors and vintage car enthusiasts alike. What are your memories of the 8-track tape era? Share your stories in the comments. Bench seats were a hallmark of classic cars from the mid-20th century, offering spacious and comfortable seating for drivers and passengers alike. Unlike modern cars with individual bucket seats, bench seats were a single continuous seat that spanned the entire width of the car's interior. Picture yourself cruising down the open road in a vintage sedan or station wagon with your whole family piled onto the front seat. Bench seats were perfect for cozying up on long road trips or just enjoying a leisurely drive around town with friends. One of the most iconic features of bench seats was their versatility. They could easily accommodate 3 passengers in the front, making them ideal for family outings or double dates. Plus, their flat design provided ample room for stretching out and getting comfortable. And let's not forget the classic American pastime of drive-in movies, where bench seats provided the perfect spot for cuddling up with your sweetheart while watching the latest blockbuster. However, as automotive design evolved and drivers began to prioritize individual comfort and customization, bench seats gradually fell out of favor. Today, they're mostly a thing of the past, remembered fondly by those who appreciate their nostalgic charm. Ever noticed how the steering wheel can be a hassle when you're getting in and out of your car? Well, the Ford Thunderbird has a solution for that. You can slide the steering wheel over to make it easier to hop in and out. Pretty cool feature, isn't it? Back in the 1960s, Ford cars had a cool feature called the Swingaway steering wheel. It was designed to make getting in and out of the car easier. When the automatic transmission was in park, the driver could move the steering wheel about 10 inches to the right. This made it simple to slide into or out of the driver's seat without any hassle. One famous car model that featured the Swingaway steering wheel was the Ford Thunderbird, known for its stylish design and innovative features. The Swingaway steering wheel added to the Thunderbird's allure, making it a favorite among drivers who valued both form and function. Although a lot of people liked this feature in those cars, it didn't stick around. New safety rules from the government said that the steering wheel and column had to absorb some of the impact in an accident. Today, the Swingaway steering wheel is a rare find, prized by collectors and vintage car enthusiasts for its historical significance and retro charm. Automatic seatbelts were a safety innovation introduced in some cars during the late 1970s and early 1980s. Unlike traditional seatbelts that required manual adjustment and fastening, automatic seatbelts were designed to retract and deploy automatically when the car door was closed. Picture yourself stepping into a compact 80s sedan, and as you close the door, the seatbelt slides smoothly into place across your chest and lap, ready to provide protection in case of a collision. It was a futuristic feature aimed at improving passenger safety and encouraging seatbelt usage. The Accord's innovative design and commitment to safety helped popularize automatic seatbelts among drivers who valued peace of mind on the road. Despite their initial popularity, automatic seatbelts eventually fell out of favor as airbag technology became more advanced and widespread. Airbags offered a more comprehensive and passive form of protection in the event of a crash, making automatic seatbelts seem obsolete by comparison. Do you remember using them in older cars? Hood ornaments were once a common sight on cars from the early 1900s through the mid-20th century, adding a touch of elegance and personality to the front of the vehicle. These decorative emblems, typically mounted on the hood or grille, were often crafted in intricate designs and made from materials like chrome, stainless steel, or even gold. Imagine cruising down the street in a classic Cadillac or Rolls-Royce from the 1920s to the 1950s, the iconic hood ornament gleaming proudly in the sunlight as you made your way to your destination. Hood ornaments were more than just decorative accessories. They were symbols of luxury and prestige, signaling the status and sophistication of the car and its owner. However, as automotive design evolved and safety regulations became more stringent, hood ornaments began to fall out of favor. Concerns about pedestrian safety led many car manufacturers to remove hood ornaments altogether or replace them with more streamlined designs that posed less risk of injury in the event of a collision. While they may no longer adorn the hoods of modern cars, hood ornaments remain an iconic symbol of automotive history. What are your memories of these innovative cars that did not stand the test of time? Share in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.